to the entertainment Talking Sports.
What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video. Hope everybody's staying safe out there, having a happy Memorial Day. Just want to go over a couple of topics regarding the New York Giants. One came out late last night. The other, not late last night, yesterday. The other came out this morning, and we're going to start with that. We're going to start with the new coach on the New York Giants coaching staff, and it seems as if the New York Giants have hired about, 30 new coaches this offseason, and this is no different. They bring in Nick Williams. Now, he definitely has very strong ties to Joe Judge, and we're going to get into that in this video. But what confuses me, and this was pointed out by Ben in my Discord, is the title that he was hired for. The New York Giants already hired, if you remember correctly, Bobby Blick to be the offensive quality control coach. So either I would think that they're going to give Bobby Blick a different title, or they would have multiple offensive quality control coaches as the New York Giants continue to add to this staff. But regardless, they will bring on Nick Williams, who formerly played for Joe Judge. Well, not for, but Joe Judge was a member of the coaching staff of Alabama. Of course, Nick Saban was the head coach, but Joe Judge was the special teams assistant coordinator with Alabama, I believe, from 2009 to 2011. Williams played wide receiver from 2009 to 2012. His father was also a member of that Alabama coaching staff, and I believe has head coaching experience in the collegiate ranks. Since then, Williams has moved himself up the coaching ranks, and we're going to get into some of his stops, but his most recent stop was with Southern Illinois, and he was in charge of the wide receivers where he did a good job. The other thing I'm going to talk about in this video is some good news that has started to come out regarding New York sports and just sports in general, hopefully, as Andrew Cuomo came out yesterday and talked about the possibility and him wanting the teams to start opening up training camps as recently as yesterday. So hopefully that's the case. Now, of course, the New York Giants train in New Jersey, so it remains to be seen how that plays out. But obviously a lot of these players will have to travel to get to the facilities, but it's starting to sound more and more encouraging that at least New York, which is probably the strictest state due to the fact that they've been hit harder than anybody else, is starting to open up the possibility of sports coming back as soon as possible. Andrew Cuomo's trying to encourage that to happen, and you got to love hearing that. We'll go over the quote in which what he had to say about the topic. But let's jump into some of the things regarding the newest coach with the New York Giants. This quote is beginning to talk about Joe Judge, and then it'll get into Williams. A special teams assistant with the Crimson Tide from 2009 through 2011, New York's first-year head coach has hired another staff member with Alabama ties with Nick Williams, coming aboard for offensive quality control coach. Now, Joe Judge is only 38 years old, and he's already hiring a guy that he actually coached. Williams was a wide receiver at Alabama from 2009 through 2012. He joined the Giants with his position as wide receivers coach and pro liaison at Southern Illinois. Williams' father, Bobby Williams, was an assistant coach at Alabama from 2008 through 2017. Let's dig a little bit further into Williams. After serving one season as the offensive graduate assistant at Valdosta State in 2013, Williams joined the staff at Jacksonville State, where he coached wide receivers for 3 seasons. The Gamecocks went 23-0 in the Ohio Valley Conference during his time and spent 11 weeks at number 1 in the nation in 2015 before losing in the national championship game. Of course, that's not, Division I. I think that's probably the second tier college teams. Williams' receiving corps set a school record with 3,102 receiving yards in 2015. I won't go on to say the names because it really doesn't matter, but it just goes to show you the success he had. They set a school record while he was the wide receivers coach. In his first season at SIU in 2017, SIU's receiving corps posted 18 touchdowns, led by junior Darrell James, who had 47 catches for 773 yards and 8 touchdowns, and he earned all-conference honors. In 2018, SIU's offense featured one of the league's top wideouts in Raphael Leonard, who led the team with 57 catches for 847 yards and 7 touchdowns. So there you have it. There's some of the things about the new coach. Williams becomes the 6th person with Alabama ties to join Judge's staff. And, of course, that's what Judge is all about. He's all about familiarity, and this is just another guy he has some experience with, obviously, as a player, not so much as a coach. But, obviously experience with Saban. His father coached with Saban, and it's just another guy with ties to Coach Joe Judge. The other members from Alabama, Burton Burns, Freddie Kitchens, Kevin Sherr, Jody Wright, and Amos Jones, all served at Alabama at some point in time. And then this, I just wanted to pull up because I wasn't 100% sure exactly what it was, the role that he will have as a quality control coach. This is what they do. A quality control coach is a member of the coaching staff whose primary job is preparing the team for a game, beginning sometimes 2 or 3 weeks before the actual game. Their primary duties include preparing for the game by analyzing game film for statistical analysis. So the way I read that is basically he's the head assistant to the offensive coordinator. He's going to prepare, the statistical analysis, the film review for the offensive coordinator for the week of the game, sometimes weeks in advance. So almost seems like a scout in a way in terms of scouting, future opponents. And then finally, this is what the governor had to say about New York sports. I believe that sports that could come back. I believe that sports that could come back without having people in the stadium, without having people in the arena, do it. Cuomo said, work out the economics if you can. We want you up. We want people to be able to watch sports. To the extent people are still staying home, it gives people something to do. It's a return to normalcy. So we are working and encouraging all sports teams to start their training camps as soon as possible. And we'll work with them to make sure that can happen. So there you have it. Obviously, that's in New York. That's not New Jersey where the New York Giants would train. But regardless, it's very encouraging to at least start to begin the process and make you think that more than likely the New York Giants will be playing football in 2020, even with everything that's going on. Very possible it will be empty stadiums, but expect to see the New York Giants to be playing football games, and expect Nick Harris to be the offensive quality control coach for Joe Judge, as it seems as if we have 2 at this point in time. But we'll have to wait and see how the rest of the coaching staff breaks out. But just wanted to get a quick video up for you guys as there's a little bit of news in the New York Giants world. As always, guys, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe, drop a comment, maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.